G'day folks, Rod from My Water Filter here today. What I'd like to introduce to you now is the Stefani water filter dispenser. Okay, as you can see, it's a nice compact light unit, 8.5 litres in total capacity, and just very handy for a small family who wants to filter their water and have it sort of on demand in a container ready to go. I'll take it out and we'll have a look at it, but obviously we fill the top tank, the water flows down and collects in the bottom tank. So they're good for creating great tasting water. So if you're on government chlorinated scheme water, then that's what this cartridge is about, removing the chlorine and the horrible taste out of the water, and it will make great tasting water. Okay. The cartridge does have a couple of aspects to it, in that the top of the cartridge is there to take out the sediments, then it goes through some carbon and that's taken out the chlorine and make the good taste from the water, getting the chlorine out. Flowing down underneath that, we've got some further scale enhancement. So we've got a lot of mineral in our water nowadays. So this filter will help to take the scale out, a bit of heavy metal removal as well, okay? So they're having a go. They are a budget style filter. So if you're just looking for something cheap that you can use at home with a small family, they will slide straight into the fridge if you've got a reasonable sized fridge, and you can fill them up and operate them straight out of the fridge, okay? So we'll open him up. Stefani, being a Stefani Australasia, Australian company, and we're supporting them here with My Water Filter. They're having a red hot go at creating budget style filtration for Australian families. All right, there isn't a test result with this product, or I would happily show it to you, but it doesn't come like that. It's a budget price as I suggested, and we just got to take these for what they are, okay? But if you're just trying to get tastier water, like a Brita jug or similar, but on a much larger scale, as you can see, it's 8.5 litres, a lot larger than a jug of any size, okay? So very simple to use, off with the top. There is a timer on the top, and you can basically set this timer to 6 months from the date that you start to use it. Depending on usage, it's all going to be about the usage. So, you know, the company will suggest it'll last up to 6 months, but if you've got a big family pumping water through this thing every day, then you might find that it might not last quite as long. But through usage, you'll get used to it, and there's a timer on the top, and you can set that timer for how long you think that your cartridges are lasting for your family. But to start with, you can just click it to 6 months, get into it, get using it, get going, and hopefully it will last that long for you. Okay, so here's the cartridge, and we'll put that in the top tank in a minute, and here's the little tap faucet that will screw in the bottom. We'll put that one in too. It does have some instructions, a few do's and don'ts, particulars on the page here, so do take a look at that. It's a 35 cup dispenser and holds 8.5 litres in total. So basically what I would do with this one here is the top tank is going to lift out, okay? So we just straight out of the top tank, and look, while I'm thinking about it, one of the great things with this is most budget water filters, and a lot you'll see, the top tank sits on the top of the bottom tank, okay? So you fill the top tank up with water and the water flows down into the bottom tank. Now, what will happen once the bottom tank's getting rather full, if you go to bed of a night time and you fill the top tank up, it can leak out between the two of them. But the beauty of this model is the top tank, very much like a jug, in that the top tank sits down inside the body. So you just fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. You can never have any spillage, or if the kids fill it up, there'll never be any accidents because it's all contained within its own body. So that's a great thing, okay? So we'll just lift the top tank out there for a second, and here's the end where the tap goes on. So we'll just quickly slip this tank in top to tap in, give you a look on how it would go in. It's a very simple process. The main thing with these are that you do have to make sure that they're tightened up tight, because if they aren't, you can get a little weep or a drip underneath them, but it's just basic stuff, and you just got to tighten up this nut on the inside and you'll be good to go. So there's the little lever tap there, okay, and we leave one rubber on the thread, and then we insert it from the outside in. Then I'll put the second rubber on and the nut, okay? So where we get it, push it straight through the hole. On the inside, I'm pushing on the other rubber, and then I'm going to put the nut on over that. Now I would leave that tap at about 9 o'clock on the clock face as I screw the nut on the inside. I'm doing the nut on the inside up as tight as I can get it by hand on the inside. Once I've got it up as tight as I can by hand on the inside, don't get your fingers on the end or you're going to break this, but I can just get it on the body and just spin him around to 12 o'clock, and that gets it pretty tight. And I'd expect that to seal at that. Failing that, you've got a nice big nut on the inside. You can just put a spanner on there and just give it a little bit more of a tighten up if you've got any weeping underneath here, all right? They're a good seal, they're a good size washer, and as long as you tighten them up tight, you won't have any worries at all there. Once that's on, you push down on the lever and the water will flow out, okay? Here's our top tank, and this is basically fills up with water, and then the filter's going to sit in the bottom here, so we'll put the filter in there as well. Very simple design, exactly the same cartridge for the Britas, and then we go, pushes in on top. It's as simple as that. Cartridge is now in there, we'll fill the top up, water will penetrate through the cartridge, come out of the bottom, and you'll be good to go. Okay, we've got the top lid, we've set our timer, we've set him on there, and on he goes. Personally, I'd fill the top tank up, I'd let some water run down through the cartridge, and I would actually turn that water to waste and give the cartridge a little bit of a flush and just get a little bit of water through it, and then you'll be good to go. And then you can just fill it up at your own leisure. As I say, it's good size, easy to handle, slide it into the fridge, holds 35 glasses, and your kids or yourself just got to push down on the lever and you'll have nice filtered water coming out of there. All being said, it does take the chlorine out of the water, will make it tastier and a lot better, easier to drink and consume. And have a look at it, plenty of information on the page here. Give us a call if we can help in any way, be happy to do so. Thanks very much.